What the fuck? I used to let the mic
Who did?
Nobody.
Psycho, dressed up like Brendo!
In 1991, on the outskirts of Kettle Springs, a large group of college students are partying near a cornfield. While everyone is having fun, Jessica finds a clown jack-in-the-box in a barn and starts fiddling with it. She then notices Tyler eyeing her and waves him over. It's been a while since she's had any male attention, so she coaxes Tyler into the nearby cornfield. He's mid-joint, but when Jessica's invitation turns suggestive, he follows her in. Because it's so dark and the corn is so dense, Tyler can't find Jessica, and she doesn't answer when he calls. While searching, he sees several large footprints on the ground, which only confuses him more. Even so, Tyler continues deeper into the field to look for her. Suddenly, Jessica appears behind him, manages only to say "run," and dies on the spot. Seeing blood on his face, Tyler panics. The stalks around him begin to rustle as something closes in, and he sprints away. He accidentally slams into a scarecrow and tumbles to the ground. Before he can get up, a clown appears and drives a trident through him, killing him. In the present day, Dr. Glenn and his daughter Quinn arrive in Kettle Springs. They hope to begin anew, heal their grief, and leave behind the old memories of Philadelphia. They finally reach their new house, which once belonged to a town doctor. Inside, a heavy stench hangs in the air. Quinn also realizes there's no cell reception. Flies suddenly appear, buzzing around the fireplace. Curious, Quinn approaches and pokes inside with a metal rod. The carcass of an animal drops out of the chimney, startling them both. Before long, a repairman arrives to clear the body and fix the flue. From an upstairs window, Quinn spots an abandoned factory in the distance, covered in strange graffiti. The next morning, she gets ready for her first day at the new school. Her father offers to drive her, but she says she's old enough to walk. As she opens the door, Quinn runs into a neighborhood boy named Rust. He explains he saw their family move in and came by to meet the new neighbors. Learning Rust attends the same school, Glenn asks him to walk with Quinn. Though reluctant, Quinn agrees. On the way, Rust warns her to be careful whom she gets involved with at school. There are plenty of weird kids around. Okay, noted. Quinn arrives late to class and is reprimanded by Mr. Verne. Before the lesson begins, a student swaps the presentation for an image of a six-pack torso with Verne's face pasted on it. He demands the culprit come forward immediately. When no one does, he assigns a surprise quiz to the entire class. Janet tells Mr. Verne that won't be fair to the new student. He replies that Quinn was late, so she deserves it. Quinn explains she was given the wrong classroom location, which is why she arrived late. That only angers him more, and he assigns Quinn after-school detention. Cole tries to stick up for Quinn and ends up getting himself a spot in after-school detention alongside her. When class is over, the group stays behind and each person introduces themselves to Quinn. She's still trying to understand why she was punished. Janet explains that Mr. Verne seems to hate students, and the feeling is mutual, only a little stronger on their side. Quinn asks about the town anniversary since she's seen the emblem everywhere. Cole says it's a silly holiday his family came up with to glorify corn. His great-grandfather invented Baypen corn syrup 100 years ago. Every year there's a parade where people gather around a Friendo float and pay tribute to him. Friendo is the clown mascot on all of Baypen's labels. Ronnie excitedly adds that they run a YouTube channel turning the clown into a horror character to advertise Baypen products. Tucker shows Quinn one of their videos in which a teen is chased by the frightening clown. It ends with the clown killing the boy, plus a Baypen product shot. After school, Quinn's father takes her to a diner, and she's thrilled to hear he's already scheduled a technician to install Wi-Fi at their new home. Quinn finds it odd that the owner there is warm to adults but openly looks down on teenagers. Just then, Police Chief Dunn stops by to greet the father and daughter. He recognizes Glenn as the town's new doctor and warmly welcomes him. Outside, Cole's group waves for Quinn to come hang out. When Dunn notices, they slip away. He warns that the town has had some problems with teenagers lately and advises Quinn to steer clear of them. Glenn then invites Dunn to stay for lunch, but Quinn dislikes the idea and decides to leave, letting her father talk privately with the chief. Once outside, Quinn goes to meet Cole's group. They ask if she has a fake ID. Around here you need proof of age to buy alcohol. Quinn says she doesn't. Confidently, Tucker and Matt claim they've got a great plan to get the bottles anyway. The shop owner notices Quinn doesn't look local and asks where she's from. While they chat to distract the owner, Tucker and Matt stage a loud argument to create a commotion inside. The other seize the moment to grab some bottles and, before leaving, make sure to put cash on the counter. That night, the group gathers around a campfire and drinks the booze they borrowed. Even if it was technically theft, Cole paid double its value. Matt says he needs to use the bathroom and wanders off. In the meantime, Quinn asks what really happened at the abandoned factory she spotted earlier. Chief Dunn said Cole's group was responsible. Cole explains that some time ago they snuck in to shoot one of their horror shorts for the channel, but a fire broke out at the site. Although police concluded it was caused by faulty wiring, townspeople still blame the teens. Quinn wonders if someone might have set them up to take the fall for the fire. Just then, Matt screams as if he's been attacked by something. He staggers back with a deep slash across his abdomen. A clown appears, sending Quinn fleeing in terror. It turns out to be only a prank by Matt and Tucker. The group planned it to scare Quinn and film her reaction. Later, Cole and Quinn open up to each other. Quinn says her mother died from an overdose, leaving just her and her dad. Her father fell into a depression and couldn't return to the ER, so they decided to move to Kettle Springs to escape the pain. Cole says his younger sister also died just last year. The two of them had spent countless hours at the reservoir. She wanted to cliff jump into the water, but she didn't leap far enough and was killed in the fall. After that, Cole drives Quinn home. She thanks him for the day out. Before getting out of the car, Quinn gives him a kiss, but the moment is cut short when Glenn shows up. Angry that his daughter is late and realizing both teens have been drinking, he orders Cole to leave and declares he will never allow Quinn near him again. Glenn scolds Quinn for leaving the diner without telling him. Quinn fires back, saying he moved them to this back of beyond town without asking her opinion. She then goes to her room and receives a message from the group, a video of her panicked flight from Tucker. She notices a shadowy figure in the distance watching them and quickly sends the still to Tucker to ask who it is. Before he can reply, Tucker spots a clown standing at his front door and assumes it's Cole in disguise. He grabs a toy gun to confront his friend. Searching the house, he finds muddy footprints and grumbles that this isn't funny. Upstairs in his bedroom, he finds a music box in the closet. When he wins it, a tiny clown pops out, startling him. He shuts the closet, and Friendo suddenly slashes his throat, killing him instantly. The clown wraps Tucker's body in plastic and carries it away. The next day, the town kicks off Founders Day, organized by Arthur, Cole's father. Amid the parade, Quinn meets Janet and Ronnie. She asks if they've figured out who the mystery Friendo is. Both suspect Rust in disguise. Cole and Rust used to be best friends. Quinn spots Rust and finds him a bit eccentric. Cole joins them and asks if anyone has seen Tucker. They assume he's hiding to set up a stunt. The group splits into pairs to film the festival. Minutes later, Quinn and Cole see a scantily dressed clown bicycling through the crowd, juggling fake bombs to everyone's amusement. Chief Dunn rushes in to detain him. Suddenly, one bomb drops onto a wagon piled with dried corn stalks, and flames spread rapidly. The giant Friendo statue topples right in front of Arthur, crushing bystanders. Panicked, Quinn and Cole race to find Janet and Ronnie, but before they can leave, the chief blames the teens for the chaos. The four are locked in a holding cell at the station. Quinn thinks this time she's really in trouble with her dad. An old man in the cell mutters that they made a grave mistake angering Friendo. Released, Quinn reunites with her father, who is deeply disappointed in her behavior. She insists Cole isn't the troublemaker he thinks. It's Mr. Verne and Chief Dunn who have been acting strangely. Glenn refuses to believe her and says she's grounded. Quinn also notices he's bought her a car as a gift, but this is hardly the moment to celebrate. Glenn says he's doing his best to make her happy despite everything they're going through. Meanwhile, Matt is at home working out. During a water break, he notices the clown box behind him, assumes Tucker is pranking, fiddles with it, and tosses it aside, unaware it's been armed. As he starts a bench press, the clown appears. Thinking it's Tucker, Matt laughs, until Friendo wedges a saw into the bar and forces it down. Matt is crushed to death. That night, Quinn gets a text from Cole. He's waiting outside so they can head to a party together. Realizing her father has fallen asleep, Quinn wastes no time and sneaks out to meet Cole. On the way, Cole gifts her a clown jack-in-the-box. Thanks to his family, he says, he has access to all kinds of collectible items from Bay Pen. Excited, Quinn films it as it plays music. Distracted, they almost hit Rust, who's out hunting. We learn Rust and Cole used to be close friends, but after Rust suspected Cole's group caused the factory fire, which cost Rust's father his job and led to his suicide, the two drifted apart. After saying goodbye to Rust, Quinn and Cole reach a farm in the middle of the cornfields where the town's teens throw a party every year. They find Janet and Ronnie, and the four toast with booze. Only then do they realize they still can't reach Matt or Tucker. Cole assumes they're hiding to set up another scare. The four dive back into the festivities. The DJ kicks off the party and thanks the sponsor, Cole. Impressed, Quinn pulls Cole onto the dance floor. They move so well together they could pass for a perfect match. Afterward, Quinn tugs Cole outside, and they slip into an abandoned shed to be alone. Quinn keeps initiating kisses, surprising Cole, who asks her to slow it down. She takes the hint and kisses him more gently, but what he really means is that their relationship should take its time and she's crossing a line.
I'm sorry.
Realizing she's acting impulsively, Quinn apologizes and wants to leave. Cole admits the past few days have been a mess and he isn't sure what to do right now. Embarrassed, Quinn heads back to the bonfire for a beer to calm down. Janet saunters over and mocks Quinn, saying every girl gets turned down by Cole. He lures them into his web and waits for the perfect moment to devour them. Irritated, Quinn squares up to her. Just then, a scream rips through the corn. Ginger staggers out and collapses with an arrow stuck in her back. Before Quinn can cry out, her friends clap hands over her mouth, insisting it's probably another prank from Tucker and Matt. Janet walks up, keeps taunting Ginger, and says the acting is spot on. At that moment, a clown's severed head is hurled from a corn. Janet removes the mask, assuming it's just Matt's plaster prop, and tosses it to Ronnie. Blood splatters everywhere, which they mistake for syrup. Feeling dread, Quinn checks Ginger's pulse and realizes she's dead. The head is real. Terror sets in. Right then, a clown steps out of the field. As soon as they recognize Frendo, an arrow pierces the DJ's head. Panic explodes. Teens scatter. Janet trips over a trash can and faceplants, but Quinn snatches the lid in time to block a killing shot aimed at her. Other kids barricade themselves in a cabin and lock the door, shutting the three girls out, so they circle around back to escape. They run into Rust, rifle in hand. He orders them down and fires. The clown drops, dead. Cole is nowhere to be seen. Quinn wants to call the police, but there's no signal. Tires have been slashed, batteries removed. Rust suggests unmasking the clown to learn who's behind it. Quinn moves in to lift the mask, but a sudden swell of noise rises from the corn. Dozens of friendos pour out, each wielding a different weapon, and charge. Rust blasts one clown's hand clean off. He howls in pain while the rest cackle. Another clown lunges at Quinn, but Cole appears in time to pull her to safety. Rust's rifle jams, forcing the group to flee. They duck into the same storage shed as before. Meanwhile, Glenn steps into Quinn's room to apologize and immediately realizes she snuck out to meet her friends. Back at the shed, Janet keeps trying to call 911 with no luck. They hope the steel door will hold, but the clowns outside keep battering it, and the surrounding walls are only flimsy wooden planks. The group decides they'll have to leave and make for Tilla's house to use a landline, though it's miles away. Just then, a clown smashes through a plank. Without thinking, Rust fires 2 rounds through the opening. Cole snaps, angry that he's wasted 2 precious bullets. Kicking aside a bucket, Cole helps Quinn spot a drainage culvert. Janet doesn't want to crawl through it, but it's life or death. Rust notices several gas cans and gets an idea. Glenn is still out searching for his daughter. Passing his clinic, he finds it looks ransacked. As he steps inside, a clown presses a knife to his throat and forces him into an exam room, where another clown lies wounded, missing a hand. The guard snarls that if Glenn doesn't save him, Quinn will die. Back at the shed, the kids stack all the fuel cans in a pile. Rust stays behind to light the fuse. While the others crawl through the culvert, Rust starts a tractor and ignites the fuel. When the friendos storm in and see the burning stack, the room detonates, blowing the shed apart. Cole wants to run back for Rust. Quinn argues they've got only 1 bullet left and need to conserve it. The group heads into the corn to escape. Glenn works on the injured clown's arm. Seeing him struggle to breathe, Glenn asks to remove the mask. The guard refuses. A burst of radio chatter reports more wounded who need treatment. Seizing the moment, Glenn asks the guard to fetch a bag of saline from the rear cabinet, then quietly slices open the patient's pants to steal the radio. Quinn's group wanders through the corn until they reach the highway and spot headlights. It's Chief Dunn. In his mind, these kids are chronic troublemakers, and seeing a gun in Cole's hand only enrages him further. He refuses to believe their story, seizes the weapon, and arrests Cole for unlawful possession. The teens beg him to check the abandoned site, but he dismisses it as another staged internet stunt. He drives off with Cole, leaving the 3 girls behind. They have no choice but to plunge back into the corn and try to reach Tilla's house. As they pick their way through the rows, a clown with a chainsaw appears. They sprint away, only to run into another clown blocking the path with a hammer. They bolt again, then hunker down, covering their mouths as the chainsaw-wielding clown prowls nearby. Suddenly, a clown crouches beside Quinn and clamps a hand over her mouth. She snatches a rock from the ground, smashes it into his face, and takes off running. As they sprint for their lives, Ronnie doesn't notice the chainsaw-wielding clown blocking the path ahead. He drives the blade straight through her. Horrified, Quinn and Janet can only keep running. They don't dare stop for a second. They finally reach Tilla's house and head straight inside. There, they find another clown sitting motionless. On checking, they realize he's already dead. Just then, a phone rings upstairs. They rush up to answer, but the call cuts off. They try to dial 911, only to discover neither of them knows how to work the old landline. Janet spots photographs of their murdered friends and dossiers on the murderous clowns. When they turn, a wind-up toy box is spinning. Quinn realizes the whole house is a trap, and they bolt. Back downstairs, the corpse has vanished. The clown suddenly reappears, drives a trident into Janet, and hoists her off the ground. Quinn smashes a nearby vase over his head, stunning him. She rushes to pull the trident out to save Janet, but Janet begs her not to. It hurts too much. Seeing the clown getting back up, Quinn yanks the trident free and rams it into his abdomen. In the end, both Janet and the clown die. Quinn has no choice but to leave her friend behind. She grabs the keys and escapes. Meanwhile, while the guard is distracted, Glenn quietly removes the heart monitor leads from the injured clown on the table. He says the man's heart has stopped and he needs to shock him. The guard hesitates, but lowers his knife to help. Glenn counts 1, 2, 3, then snatches the knife and plunges it into the guard's neck. The man tries to pull the blade out, gushes blood, and dies on the spot. Glenn grabs the radio, listens in, and learns his daughter is still in danger. Elsewhere, Quinn reaches a pickup truck, but quickly realizes she can't drive a stick shift. 3 clowns swarm the vehicle. One smashes the rear window and drags her out. When she comes to, Quinn is tied up inside the abandoned factory. The clowns drop the act and unmask. Police Chief Dunn, Mr. Vaughn the teacher, Otis the store owner, and Rex the diner owner. Quinn says she knew something was off about them in daylight, and that they're better clowns than human beings. Dunn, enraged, shocks her with a stun baton. The ringleader finally steps forward. Quinn recognizes him immediately. Arthur, Cole's father. He declares he's disowned Cole. Kettle Springs is a good town full of good people, he says, and they've worked to keep it that way for years. Every few generations, though, a crop of useless kids comes along. When Quinn protests she isn't even from here, Dunn shocks her again. Arthur lectures. In the 1930s, Baypen became a national brand and made the town prosper. People work hard. But the new generation, preening for social media, filming suggestive clips, are a cancer. Today's youth are a failed harvest that must be culled. He pulls back a curtain to reveal Cole, bound. Quinn pleads. Cole is his son. Arthur says Cole stopped being his son the day he killed his sister and burned down the factory his forefathers built. Cole is a failed seed. Time to start over. Arthur plans to stage a suicide note and post it online. A spoiled rich kid opened fire at a party, murdered a girl who rejected him, then killed himself. Just as Dunn is about to execute Quinn, Glenn crashes a car straight through the building. A crossbeam drops and crushes Otis's skull. Rex is impaled by a steel rod and dies instantly. Furious, Mr. Vaughn revs a chainsaw and charges at Glenn, but Glenn kicks a door into him and knocks him down. Dunn shoots Glenn, only for Quinn to zap the chief with the stun baton. Glenn yells for his daughter to run. Arthur orders Dunn to go after the girl while he handles Cole, then strides over and knocks Glenn out cold. Quinn ducks into a side room and finds it filled with clown mannequins. She quickly cuts the rope binding her wrists and hides. Meanwhile, Arthur tries to inch a vehicle forward to tighten a noose around Cole's neck, but the tires snag on debris. Before long, Dunn breaks into Quinn's room. He creeps forward, following a smear of blood on the floor, straight into Quinn's trap. Dressed in a clown suit, she slips in behind him and drives the stunned baton into his throat. The jolt is so strong it practically cooks his head. During the confrontation, Cole realizes Arthur himself set the fire for the insurance payout. Business had been failing. Arthur stops pretending and admits it, but says it won't matter, because the secret will die with Cole. He moves off, the noose cinches, and a gunshot cracks the air. Glenn, now conscious, throws himself in to help. At that moment Rust, alive, arrives and shoots the rope, saving Cole's life. Rust rushes over to check on him, and, to everyone's surprise, the two share a kiss. Quinn walks in, freezes for 5 seconds at the sight, and then hurries to her father. At last, father and daughter reunite after a night of madness. The 4 of them flee the cursed factory. Seeing another manual transmission truck, Quinn is ready to flip the table, but this time her dad sits beside her and talks her through it. Before they can pull away, Mr. Van reappears with the chainsaw. They choose not to run. They floor it and ram him. A few months later, Quinn packs for her new university. After saying goodbye to her dad, Rust and Cole show up to see her off. Rust hands her a gift, a 20-centimeter stun baton. Quinn sets out, only to spot a clown jack-in-the-box in the car. She tosses it out the window, and it pops open again by the roadside. Looks like the evil clowns of Kettle Springs may still be at large. That's the end of the film. What did you think? Drop a positive comment below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.